Evening family, welcome to the 5th edition of You and Your Vet Talk Show. And hosting today is my humble self, Dr. Adesewa, and I'm with a guest called
Dr. Adesewa.
You're welcome. So today we're talking about a very, very common disease in poultry farming. It's called coccidiosis. You know, we work here at Epiphany, and one of the most common questions are, oh, my birds are stealing this red and all that kind of thing. So we're talking about it so that you can know what to do and how to prevent it. And so we're going to start just immediately. So Dr. Adesewa, please can you tell us what is coccidiosis, how is it transmitted and all that? Thank you.
Thank you. Coccidiosis is it's a very prevalent disease in poultry, and it's caused by malaria, which is an intestinal parasite. It feeds on the intestinal lining of the birds and then prevents the absorption of food. Yes,
that's very interesting. That's very interesting to know. Okay, so how is it spread? Like why, from where to where? Like what's happening?
Coccidiosis can be transmitted. There are several ways. First of all, overcrowding. When you have a small space and you decide to put in 1,000 birds.
Yeah, that's
or because I have this space, but I have the money to buy a lot of birds. People do that, and then they just buy up a lot of birds and pack it together. So that is one factor that can actually result to coccidiosis. And another is when the environment is not neat enough. So people are not, they don't clean every day, they don't clean regularly. So when the litters are wet and you see the birds, they pick on it, while some people spread the feed on the floor for the birds to pick. So doing that way, while picking on the floor, they pick these parasites and then result into coccidiosis. And also in their water, some birds will jump on their drinker and then stool. Their feces is in it and the owner won't clear it off. So that way the bird can actually pick the parasites and result to the coccidiosis. Another way that it can be transmitted, it's by strangers, allowing strangers into your farm.
That's right.
If you have a big farm and someone is moving from one pen or one poultry into your poultry, they can actually transmit coccidiosis from that poultry to your poultry. And the last is having adult birds.
Okay.
So because you want to buy birds and you decide to, you have the older ones, then you buy the younger ones and then put everything together.
Oh, that's so wrong.
Yes.
That's so wrong.
So the adults most times have actually gained immunity to that disease, but the younger ones are still naive. They have this naive immune system. So putting them together can actually expose the younger ones to coccidiosis.
Oh wow, so you guys, wow, that's a lot. And thank you for that exposition. Like, that was so educating. I didn't even know that people could put older beds and younger beds together. Wow, and even also pour feed on the ground. Oh my goodness, that's very wrong. That's so wrong. So we agree that coccidiosis is prevalent in damp environments.
Yes,
I believe. So how do we prevent this? How do we prevent it?
Coccidiosis can be prevented in several ways. When I spoke about the sanitation, the keeping the environment clean, so that's a biosecurity. Do not allow strangers into your farm. Bringing in from one pen to the other. You should have a space where they can, just stay and not enter into the pen. And another, like I said earlier, overcrowding. Avoid overcrowding. Regular cleaning.
Yes,
cleaning of your pen. The wood, if you're using sawdust or wood shavings, anything you're using to, especially those using the deep litter. So they actually have this sawdust on the floor. Once it's wet, clean regularly. Don't allow the the sawdust to be wet. Their litter shouldn't be wet. The water should be regularly changed. That way you can prevent coccidiosis. And also there is coccidiosis vaccine.
Okay.
Yes. So most people don't do that. Most people don't vaccinate their birds against coccidiosis. But then there is a vaccine for coccidiosis. And also there is an anti-coccidiostat, which is a drug, a medication, preventive measure to coccidiosis.
Okay, that's very good to know. But I didn't ask you this question, of which I was supposed to ask that before talking about these other things. But then, how do I know that my birds, have coccidiosis? What are the signs? Are they stooning? Are they fainting? What actually happens there?
Okay, that is a very good one, because most farmers don't know. Oh, they really don't know what is wrong with their birds. And so I would like to let you know that there are two types of coccidiosis.
Okay.
We have the clinical signs and the clinical coccidiosis, and then the subclinical.
Okay.
So clinical means that it's showing signs.
Exactly.
So these signs now are what farmers should also look up to. That is, when you see them having the drooping wings, you see their wings are just, it's as if they are stretching their wings towards one side, and some cuddles together, they come together, you see them as if they are catching cold. So some farmers will take it as their temperature, they are feeling cold, but actually this can also be a sign of coccidiosis. And also inappetence.
Yeah.
They don't want to eat, because once the thing is going in, this passing it out as a bloody stool, and that bloody stool is also one of the clinical signs. Very, very common signs. So if you don't get it as bloody, there can also be a watery.
Okay, what about brown?
Yes,
brown.
So people might be like, I really don't know the color, but it's like brown.
Yeah.
So yes, it's like brown, it's red, it's bloody. It is coccidiosis. Yes.
Wow.
Once you start seeing that, you know that you're dealing with coccidiosis, and you should visit or consult your vet. And also the subclinical sign that I discussed about. This subclinical sign, most times you hardly see signs. So those big farms that have actually come in contact with coccidiosis, that an experience of coccidiosis, are most ones that will actually know that, okay, I think something's happening, especially when they start seeing that their birds are dying. But then in subclinical signs, the tissues or some sample has to be taken to the lab to be able to verify that it's coccidiosis.
Yeah, so what I'm getting from this is that, birds, they could be much. But as a farmer, one of the things that you owe your birds, or you owe your investment to do, is to enter into the farm and look critically at their feeders, because you don't have to wait for it to turn to death. Yeah, you don't have to wait until they begin to die, because I've seen cases where a lot of birds, chicks, just died. A lot of them died because of coccidiosis. So coccidiosis is not a small thing as you may think it is, or maybe because it's prevalent, everybody's saying coccidiosis. It shouldn't be ignored. It slops out the intestine, and then you're having blood. Imagine stealing blood as a human. So what happens? That's a lot. That's
scary.
That's a lot. So, doctor, how can it be treated?
Okay, coccidiosis can be treated. You can visit or consult your veterinarian, or visit a veterinary store where you can get the drug. There are drugs to cure coccidiosis. And also, if you should, in case you don't have a veterinarian or you don't know where to get it, here at Epiphany Vet, we give the quality treatment, advice, consultation to you as a farmer. So you can come and visit us, and we'll handle your case.
Yeah, so as the popular saying that says prevention is better than cure. I believe that we don't always have to treat and keep giving our animals drugs and all that, but when you prevent it, you have cured it by 80%. So what you need to do, like you said, the biosecurity, take it. If you don't have like different boots or different farm wares for different pens, if that's depending on if you're a big farmer or a small farmer, please get one. That's part of biosecurity.
Yes, of course.
And then for entering into the house, visitors entering into your farm, maybe like coming to buy your birds.
Yeah.
You should have a food day outside. a food dip, that once they enter, they put their foot into the food dip.
It disinfects their shoes.
Disinfect their shoes before they enter, and then they should have their own space.
Yes.
People shouldn't just have access to your farm easily. You should just come and enter your farm. No. They should have their own spaces so that you are preventing it, not just coccidiosis, all other disease that affect birds. So
yeah, and also another way they can also prevent it. Some people already have birds in their pen, and they go ahead to buy others. Once you bring in some new sets of birds, you have to keep them in a separate space. That is, we call it quarantine them for at least, that is the minimum, 2 weeks. So 2 weeks is enough to show if there are signs or if there are anything wrong with your birds. So don't just purchase birds and then introduce it into your pen. You can actually introduce something deadly or any disease into your pen.
That's right. So thank you so much. I hope you learned, because this was a lot of free of charge information.
Yes.
And information is free.
Yeah.
As well as prevention is better than cure.
Yes.
So thank you guys for staying tuned. We'll hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye.